Hi friends, it's Miss Howell. Today we are going to be reading a new book. This book is called Caps for Sale. So today I wore my favorite cap. A cap is just a different word for a hat. So I'm sure you have a favorite hat. If you wanted to pause the video really quick and go grab a hat to wear while we read our new book. So this book is a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. So a tale is just a story, because he doesn't have a tail. It's just a story. And it's a story about a peddler, and this man is a peddler. That means that he is selling something. What do you think he might be selling? Oh, that's right. He's selling caps, because it's caps for sale. So he is trying to sell some caps, and then it says they're monkeys and monkey business. They must be up to something. So let's get started with the reading. Caps for sale. Oh, almost forgot. This story is told and illustrated by Esfer Slobodkina. That's a hard name to say, but I tried my best. So if the story is told by that person and illustrated by them, they are both the author and the illustrator. Once there was a peddler who sold caps. But he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. So the wares are the things he's selling. He carried them where? On top of his head. First, he had his own checkered cap. So that one right there that's more black and white, that's his cap. It matches his pants. Then, a bunch of gray caps. Then, a bunch of brown caps. Looks a little more yellow to me. Then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. I wonder how many caps he has on his head. Let's count them. I'm gonna start up here at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He has 17 caps. That's so many. I don't even think I have 17 hats. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. That's because he didn't sell a cap, right? "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said. And he walked out of town, slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He had to do a good job balancing so they don't fall over. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. That's a nice place for a rest, he thought, and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. If he went too quickly, they might fall off. Then he put his hand up to feel that they were straight. First, he checked his own checkered cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and the red ones very tippy-top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own cap. Where did they all go? He looked to the right of him. No caps. He looked to the left of him. No caps. He looked to the back of him. No caps. He looked behind the tree. No caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? All I see right now is leaves. Let's see what he saw. Look at all those monkeys. On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. I'm thinking they must have snuck down and got them off his head while he was sleeping. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking a finger at them. "Give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Zzz." This made the peddler angry. So he shook both hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you, give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands and said back at him, "Zzz." Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet and said, "Zzz." By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, "Zzz." It almost seems like they think it's a game. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap and threw it on the ground and began to walk away. So, every time he did something, the monkeys copied him. And now he took his hat off and threw it on the ground. So what are the monkeys gonna do? That's right, the monkeys each pulled off his cap, and all the gray caps and all the brown caps and all the blue caps and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First, his own checkered cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. So I noticed on this page, when they got thrown down, they got all mixed up and crazy and everywhere. But before he put them on his head, he sorted them. He put all the red together, all the blue together, all the brown, it looks more like yellow to me, and all the gray. He sorted them into their own piles so he could put them back on his head. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" And then here on the fence it says, "The end." What a silly story with those silly monkeys. So, let's talk a little bit about our book. First, we have the characters in the book. The characters are the people in the book. So think for a minute, who were the characters? Who were the people or the animals that were in our book? That's right, there was the peddler, and then there were those silly, crazy monkeys. And then also, there was the setting of our book. The setting is where the story is, where the story happened. And so I remember he went out to the country and he slept under a tree, so that was where the story happens. Now that we're finished with our story, you can draw a picture with your family about your favorite part, or you can draw the characters, or draw your favorite hat. Anything you want, really. Alright, bye guys.